Did you know that you can create captivating animated story videos like this one?
In a small village, a young man named Leo dreamed of adventure. One day, he decided to explore the enchanted forest nearby.
Wow, this place is amazing. I can't wait to see what's inside.
After a while, Leo reached a wide river. The water rushed quickly and he saw no bridge.
How will I get across?
I can help. We can build a raft from those fallen branches.
Leo and Mia crossed the river. But suddenly, dark clouds rolled in and rain began to pour.
We need to find shelter fast.
They ran to the cave where they met Ben, a brave boy who had also sought refuge.
There's a wild animal in here.
We can scare it away.
The three friends gathered sticks and made noise. With teamwork, they frightened the animal out of the cave.
We did it! This was the best adventure ever.
The three friends returned to the village, knowing they could face anything together. Their bond would last a lifetime.
And the best part is, all with the power of artificial intelligence. Hi, I'm Professor M. Higazi, and I'll be guiding you step by step in this groundbreaking course. In this course, you'll learn how to bring a story to life from scratch using sophisticated AI tools. I'll show you how to craft a story and build a video out of it, from a simple idea into a professional animation, perfect for social media content, faceless YouTube channels, and so much more. We'll start by using ChatGPT to generate story script that set the stage for your video. Then we'll jump into Leonardo AI for creating consistent characters based on the story you want to tell. Once our characters are ready, we'll head over to Luma Labs Dream Machine to bring them into video form with cinematic quality. But it doesn't stop there. I'll also show you how to add voices that match each character using Elevenlabs, and then effectively lip sync them in RunwayML. The results? Characters that look and sound like they're truly alive. You'll learn how to upscale video quality, remove watermarks, and edit everything into a polished final product in Canva, adding transitions, background music, sound effects, and even subtitles. Whether you're a complete beginner or a content creator looking to level up, this course will empower you to create engaging, high-quality story videos from start to finish. Ready to bring your animated stories to life with AI? Let's dive in, and I'll see you in the course. So one of the crucial steps to developing your AI animated video is to first write your story script. Now, you obviously can't develop an animated video without having a story to it, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to leverage AI for that portion first. And we're going to use ChatGPT. You're free to use any chatbot, but we're going with ChatGPT in this course. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to pick a story and we're going to have ChatGPT give us a script with all the main characters of the story we select and all the scenes split up basically in an organized fashion that will help us when it comes time to generating or creating our animated video. So what I have for you in this lesson is basically a prompt that we can use and fill in with all our specifics. So with this prompt here, essentially it'll make your story come to life. And let me go ahead and go through it first, and then I'll explain how we can fill in those placeholders. So it says, write me a brief story of, and then it asks you to enter story name and idea here. Make it a captivating story to keep readers interested and use basic English. Make it no more than, and then you're going to enter the number of characters here. And include only, and then here you're going to enter the number of characters, meaning the characters in the story, not to be confused with the number of characters in the story script. Okay, so enter the number of characters, or you can even say main characters to avoid confusion, in the story, along with a narrator. And then you inform ChatGPT, you provide it further instructions and state, I will be using the story script to create an animated video. So split the story into, and then you're going to enter the number of parts here. One for each scene. in each scene include a mixture of both main characters and narrator speaking. So, a lot of this stuff is essential to mention for reasons that have to do with how we're going to be developing our animated video. So for instance, you want to mention that you're going to be creating an animated video, so ChatGPT is intelligent enough to realize that it needs to split your story script into different scenes, right? And you also want to mention that you want a narrator in there, because a good story is comprised of a narrator and some characters who are actually speaking throughout the story. So let's go ahead and fill these in. All right, so the first part, which is probably the most crucial, is the story name or idea. Now, you can pick a popular story and insert it in here and focus on creating an animated video based on that type of story. Or you can create a completely brand new story idea. For instance, let's say there's a story in mind, right? It could be, for example, a historical story, something in relation to Greek history, for example. Or it can be popular fiction stories or fable stories or myths, right? So you have, for example, just to name a few, you have, for example, the story of the Three Musketeers. You have the story of Robin Hood. You can even go more ancient, and it could be you could go with the story of Hercules, Alexander the Great. You could do something like Life of Pi, for instance, and many other known stories out there. Really, it could be about literally anything that you're interested in. Or you can create your own idea, your own story. So it all depends on what you want to do. For the purpose of this course, I'm not going to go off of a known popular story. I'm going to create my own storyline, story theme, characters, because I want to innovate, right? I want a new idea. And certainly I can pick one of the older existing ideas out there, but I want something completely brand new for this course. Just to demonstrate that you can, if you like, create a brand new animated video with your own characters, your own story, and make it as original as possible by leveraging and harnessing the power of AI. So in this case, I'm just going to select a story idea. All right, so for instance, you're going to say the following: write me a brief story of, and then put your story idea here. I'm going to say, a young man traveling through a forest and encounters obstacles and overcomes them. So just something very brief. AI will fill in the gaps. Okay, so a young man traveling through a forest and he encounters obstacles and overcomes them. And I want, obviously, additional characters. Okay, make it a captivating story to keep readers interested and use basic English. Make it no more than, and I recommend somewhere between 1,500 to 2,000 characters to begin with. So in this case, I'm going to do 1,500 characters. Enter the number of main characters. So I want to include, for instance, no more than 4 characters in the story. Okay, and obviously it's going to select characters relevant to the story. Okay, those characters can be animals, they can be other people, and you can specify those details if you wish as well. But for now, I'm going to keep it pretty generic and let AI give me, let AI fill in those gaps for me. Okay, and then we continue on. I will be using the story script, so on, so on. So split the story into, and I want to split it into 5 parts, for instance. So that will allow for 5 short videos in which I can ultimately integrate them into one final product. And that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and see what ChatGPT will give us. All right, so here we go. Scene 1, the journey begins. Narrator: in a small village, a young man named Leo dreamed of adventure. One day he decided to explore the enhanced forest nearby, packed some food and set off, excited and a bit nervous. Okay, so now that's the narrator. Here's Leo, and I didn't even pick a name. AI picked it for me. I just gave it the idea. So Leo's looking at some trees. Wow, this place is amazing. I can't wait to see what's inside. Then I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but just to give you an idea. So scene 1, the journey begins. You can see the narrator and the main character, Leo, is speaking. Okay. Now, here we have them crossing a river. Okay, so it looks like a second character was added named Mia. So she's a clever girl from his village. She just happened to be there. So that's cool. They come across a second character. And then the storm approaches. There's a storm, so that's one of the obstacles. Great. This is already looking really good. You have a narrator, and then you have two characters. Then we add a third character by the time we get to scene 4. And this is interesting because Ben says in this case, I was hoping to find someone. So it's not like a character that just pops up in the story without reason. There's context to it. Then we go down here, and I think that's sufficient. We have 3 characters plus a narrator. That's sufficient. And honestly, it's good enough for what we're trying to do. So we're going to go ahead with this. We're going to take the 5 scenes that we have here. Seems like a pretty cool story, and I think applicable to all ages. It may seem tailored to the younger generation, but I'm pretty sure, granted, the final look of it, it probably will be relevant to all ages. Anyone can watch this video and benefit, maybe learn a moral story or two. So this is great. Looks to be a story of commitment, friendship, resilience, for instance. So this is really good. We're going to go ahead with this and proceed forward. So at this point, what I recommend is you copy the scenes and you drop it in either Google Docs or Microsoft Word. So for now, I'm just going to copy all of this and put it in Microsoft Word. And this is a good way to itemize your scenes. When we get into the video animation portion of the course, you'll see that putting it in Microsoft Word becomes helpful, just a bit more organized. So I'm going to open up Microsoft Word right now. Once you have Microsoft Word open, we're just going to go ahead and paste it. And we're basically going to keep the same style. Okay, so this is looking good. And then you can just make sure you save this file for future reference. Now, at this point, we've developed the script for the story, which is a great step. And then the next step essentially will be to generate the images relevant to the different scenes and the characters. And then we'll focus on taking those images and creating video scenes, video clips with them. We'll then add voiceover to those videos, and then we'll also do some lip syncing to make sure that the lips are aligned with the voiceover. And then finally, we'll integrate all the different scenes into one final product using either a Canva, or you can use an equivalent video editing program, at which point we'll have everything we need to compile our AI animated video and ultimately share it around as we wish. So stay tuned as we go through the next steps and build our video animation.